3 different winners since Hendry's last title. Was the era of one player's domination at an end? A second 147 at the Crucible for O'Sullivan perhaps suggested otherwise.
This is the one. Well,
29.
He's just gone a shade too far. Perfect. 134. It's still not straightforward. Keep coming. It's going to be a tricky black. Oh, it's going to be tricky. £169,000 on this pot.
Wonderful, wonderful display by Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's looked out of sorts. They've all come across to congratulate him. They're 2 of his fans. How wonderful was that, Dennis?
That is absolutely incredible once again. I was in the box when he did it in 97 in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That is truly incredible.
Equally incredible, he lost this first-round match to Marco Fu. So could Mark Williams start adding to his collection of titles? He had an easy ride through the tournament, easy that is compared to Ken Doherty, who'd shown remarkable resilience against John Higgins and Paul Hunter to reach the final.
Oh, Ken Doherty has produced all sorts of comebacks. This would be the biggest one of the lot.
11-5 down, Ken fought back to 11 all and 16 all.
Ken Doherty, 40.
But Mark finally broke his resistance.
Ken fears the worst.
It's been such a sporting final, one of the finest Embassy World Championships we've had for quite some time.
The pink sufficient
30.
to leave Doherty needing 2 snookers.
31.
The plant makes sure.
And Mark Williams, the most relaxed man in the Crucible Theatre, or so it seems, but inside,
Okay. 73.
he will be absolutely delighted.
77.
When Williams led 10-2, it seemed as if he might even win with a session to spare.
Oh, Ken Doherty, 5.
The blue finishes on the floor, but that doesn't matter. Mark Williams clinches the title, beats Ken Doherty, the Embassy World Championship, for the 2nd time.
I'm sure you pay great tribute to fiancé Joe, but also to Terry Griffiths and what he's done to help you over the past season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Terry's helped me. I mean, loads. I mean, I can't see. Oh, there he is. There. There he is. There. Yeah. And he gets more nervous than me, believe it or not. But I mean, a lot of thanks to Terry. I mean, without him, I was struggling a bit, and I've won quite a few tournaments this year, and obviously my mate Sardi's here as well. Do my head in for 2 weeks as usual, but that, you need people like that around with you, and it could have gone either way at the end.
It was O'Sullivan, though, who was still looking the most likely successor to Davis and Hendry. His temperament appeared to be the main problem. But Ray Reardon was brought in as guide and mentor, and the old master seemed to work his magic off the table as dexterously as he'd done on it.
Will you welcome into the Embassy Arena, Ronnie O'Sullivan?
Ronnie looked unbeatable on his way to a final demolition of Graham Dott.
Six.
Quite simply,
7.
O'Sullivan has been the best player of the tournament. The smile up to his army of fans in the balcony. I'm sure the smile was probably to his mother, who's sitting up there. to win the Embassy World Championship for the second time is something that most players have never done once.
15.
A big credit should go to Graham Dott. What a tournament he's had. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. He's played, at the moment, the best player in the world. And the handshake, I'm sure, will come from Graham Dott. What a tournament. O'Sullivan has been quite simply magnificent. He takes the Embassy World Championship by 18 frames to 8 as the Crucible audience give him a standing ovation. Well played, O'Sullivan.
I'm just going to enjoy the moment, and who knows next season, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I'm just going to enjoy it for the moment and take some time off in the summer. And if I do carry on playing, I just want to keep improving. And this is the greatest tournament any snooker player can play in, and it means so much to me. So, you know, and I just want to say for my dad, you know, this one's for him, you know, so for my man.
Well, he's amphibious, isn't he? Don't know about ambidextrous, but he's amphibious, because I'm sure if he took his shoes off, he could play with his feet. Really speaking, we're looking at somebody who's a magician in a way. And he thinks that he cannot miss anything, which gives him this magical... everybody knows how wonderful he is, and they all love him. And so whatever he's done is certainly not against the audience and the spectators, because he wouldn't dream of that. He's so wrapped up in what he's doing. And he's a magician, and he just goes into... probably goes into a spell.
Because of government restrictions on tobacco advertising, 2005 marked the end of Embassy's partnership with the tournament. The parade of champions that preceded the last session of the final was fittingly moving testament to the service that their sponsorship had given to the game of snooker. Not present at the parade was Ronnie O'Sullivan, who'd announced his temporary retirement from the game following a controversial quarter-final defeat at the hands of Peter Ebdon, whose modest pace of play had attracted criticism.
To be honest, I don't care. I won the match, you know. People can say what they like. I'm a different style from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ronnie O'Sullivan is an absolute genius. How do I feel? I've just beaten the world champion and world #1. You know, I put my heart and soul into every single match I played.
I know you're very emotional at this stage. You're obviously living and breathing this. Are you okay?
Mark Williams picked up £161,000 for the Crucible's 6th maximum break.
A little bit of history.
120.
He'll be the first ever Welsh player to make a maximum at the Crucible. Come on, Mark.
$134.
Underhit it just a little bit. Get in.
140.
Unbelievable. Mark Williams. Terry Griffiths had already left the commentary box to go and congratulate Mark. Superb.
22 years of age, from Rotherham, Sean Murphy.
And the tournament also saw the emergence of another new star from a seemingly endless production line of talent, 22-year-old Sean Murphy. Having survived 2 rounds of pre-Crucible qualifying, Murphy played with the assurance of a champion to reach the final against Matthew Stevens, and he looked at home on the biggest stage of them all.
It's there. It's there.
Sigh of relief time in the Murphy camp.
Just
64.
the red to leave Matthew needing a snooker. Incredible.
65.
And a big rising star is born here.
Sean Murphy has beaten Matthew Stevens to win the Embassy World Championship. Astonishing, astounding.
The first qualifier to win since Terry Griffiths back in 1979. And it's widely predicted that his 1816 victory will be the first of many.
People have been saying, you know, for the last 2 weeks that I've been looking quite calm and taking things in my stride. If they'd have asked me, I'd have told them that I was shaking like a leaf most of the time. You know, I've done ever so well just to deliver the cue, let alone pot a few balls, and it's my honour and privilege to be the last Embassy World Champion.
Shaun Murphy, the star of the last chapter of 30 years of enthralling sporting history.
It's going to be so nostalgic for us as a family to think that our names can be added to a series of icons alongside those that we saw this evening in the arena. It's just an absolute, it's beyond our wildest dreams, in other words, yeah.
Embassy have been such tremendous sponsors for snooker over the last 30 years. And what a fitting way to have a new young player come into the Embassy World Championship, the final one, and really blow the world's best players in the game totally out the water.
I think it was an incredible final. You know, you've got the storybook job, really, haven't you? You'd think it was scripted, really. Years. Whatever the WPBSA do after this, I don't know how they're going to follow it. It's going to be a hell of an act to follow. I mean, not only they've been professional, they've been humorous, they've been generous, and they've turned the sport from nothing into something that's worldwide. So whoever follows that, well, good luck, fellas.
And sponsors like this don't come along very often, and we've been very, very lucky. We've probably been spoiled in a way, you know, because in our climate now we realise how hard it is to find sponsors like such as Embassy, and it's very, very hard to go on from there. But you know, they've been good to us, and snooker, I think, has been good to them as well. They've enjoyed it as much as we have. We will certainly miss it, and it'll no longer be called the Embassy World Championship. But I think everybody will always remember and the good times here and the good years that they've had, and you know, they'll always go down in history, and I was just lucky to be a part of it, you know.
One more for the Embassy Showgirls.
I just cannot believe how this final has turned out to be almost, if not one of the great classics. It's just come together so good, and to take it almost to the last frame is beyond our wildest dreams. And we're going to miss not being here, and we hope that whoever follows us in the sponsorship stakes will be as lucky as we've been over 30 years.
I think it's been symbiotic, if that's not too silly a word. It's been integral, absolutely integral to both the sport and the brand, I think. They have become synonymous. And as you know, when you hear the players talking, they talk about winning the Embassy. What more can I say?
I'm going to miss it. Obviously, with Embassy not being involved, it's not going to be the same. Whoever comes in has got an extremely hard act to follow. I've taken a few quid off them over the years, but I've obviously had to earn it. But they've been fantastic for the sport, not just the World Championship. They've put on tournaments in Scotland, Wales, Ireland. So you know, they're going to be sadly missed in our game.
Go on, that's the important one. Hold that one up high, that's it.
It has been 30 years which I've had the dramas, the pleasures, the excitement of the Embassy World Snooker over those years. A fabulous time, and great credit and my congratulations to Embassy for all they have done for the world of snooker.